One of the most fearsome pass rushers in all of football back on the practice field for the Houston Texans as Will Anderson returned to practice for the Texans on Wednesday. He's been down since the second half of the Jets game when he had his leg rolled up on him in the first half by Neville Hewitt. He actually came back and played a little bit in that game, but the ankle injury has had him miss the past couple of games in prime time. No Will Anderson against the Lions or the Cowboys, but Will Anderson on his way to being back on the field against the Tennessee Titans. And Anderson is in the midst of a fantastic season. 7 sacks last year in his Defensive Rookie of the Year campaign, 7.5 sacks already this year, and he might be just getting started. Here's DeMeco Ryans on his big-time pass rusher back on the practice field.
It's really good to get Will back. We've been missing him the past couple of weeks. Just his leadership style, his play style, his demeanor all around. Just missed his leadership, so it's good to have him back out at practice.
I mentioned the sack numbers for Will Anderson, and those sack numbers are going to be better than the rookie year. They already are by half a sack, but he's going to add to that. But to explain the dominance for Anderson and what he's done to improve his game, it's not just the sack numbers. The quarterback pressure percentage is the same as last year, according to Next Gen Stats. He's pressuring the quarterback the same amount, but he's converting those into sacks almost 75% more than last season. You can see the development in Anderson's game. And here in the second season, it's actually pretty rare for top pass rushers to have bigger years than their rookie season by what Anderson has the opportunity to finish the season with. With just 6 games left on the schedule, I don't know if he's going to get some massive, crazy sack number, but he's certainly going to have more sacks, and the advanced metrics from Next Gen Stats show you that he's a much more effective player, and you see it on a week in and week out basis. That's a huge credit to Will Anderson, but it's also a huge credit to the Texans that improved that defensive line and the ability to get after the quarterback as well. They did that by adding to the defensive tackle room, swapping out those pieces, and then, of course, the big monster opposite Will Anderson, who's been holding it down while Anderson is out, is Danielle Hunter. Hunter, with his league-leading quarterback pressures, has been incredible. He's pressuring the quarterback over 20% of the time, and he's already close to his total quarterback pressure number from last year in Minnesota when he was fantastic for the Vikings. And Anderson and Hunter together, with the way that Hunter's playing right now and Anderson rounding back into form here in the next few weeks, they present an extremely difficult duo to handle for opposing teams. Here's DeMeco Ryans on Danielle Hunter's contributions and how impressive he's been for the Texans.
The thing that shows up with D. Hunter is just the persistence. Like he's getting after it, right? With everything that he has, like of course he has a lot of different moves, but whatever else, I tell him whatever it takes to get to the quarterback, just want him moving forward and being persistent, and he's done that time and time again. Right now, I think he leads the league in pressures. He's been around the quarterback a lot and just finishing a lot more as well. So really proud of just his work, his body of work. He's done that when he was in Minnesota, and it's showing up again here.
With Hunter playing this well, Anderson back in the lineup, you've got a shot every week to really disrupt what the opposing offense wants to do, not just from a passing game standpoint, but also disrupting the rushing attack. Anderson specifically, but also Hunter are very good at helping out in the run game. But if you start putting teams in second and long, third and longs, well, we've all watched the Texans. We know how difficult that is for quarterbacks to manage, and that sort of helps eliminate the rushing attack. And a quick moment for my friends here at Prize Picks, the best, easiest way to play daily fantasy. Use the code Stoots when you sign up. Play your first 5. You're going to get $50. Let's put a Prize Picks entry together ourselves. You use the little calendar here, and you can select the Texans game. We apply that. Here's what I like in this one. I like C.J. Stroud with more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I like Nico Collins to catch a touchdown, and I like Will Levis to throw an interception. He is a turnover machine. We're going to make this a power play. We're going to put $5 on it. turn $5 into 22.5 if we win. It's that easy to put in a Prize Picks entry. When you play your first 5, you're going to get $50 thanks to my friends at Prize Picks. Use the code Stoots when you sign up, STOOTS. That link's in the description down below. What's better than the best way to play daily fantasy? Nothing. That's why Prize Picks is the best. As good as these two guys are, you got to give some credit to the interior as well. And they've made the interior their job a little bit easier, and they've benefited from it. Foley Fatukasi's got a couple of sacks to his name. Mario Edwards has some to his name as well. And then, of course, Tim Settle has brought plenty to the table as a sort of afterthought to this offseason. Danielle Hunter, the big investment, the trade for Stefon Diggs. But, hey, Tim Settle has been a fantastic find across that defensive line for the Texans. He's got a handful of sacks here. He told me earlier this year he's playing his best football of his career. He's having fun with this Texans team. And as he mentioned, as I mentioned, those defensive ends are making his job a little bit easier. You could tell when Settle talks about this defensive line, their potential to really impact things. He's having a blast, and those two edge monsters are making his job a lot easier.
I feel like it's really just setting it up. I feel like once one of us get going, it kind of like a domino effect. D Hunt got it going this week, and I fed off of him. Me and him play on the same side a lot, so. If you pay attention earlier in the game, I kind of set my sack up this past week. And, you got to just, it's like throwing a perfect pitch. I feel like I got interviewed. Somebody interviewed me how hard it was to get a sack. It's hard. You just got to wait for the opportunity in the right time. But we got Will back this week, man. The sack's only going to keep coming.
So I tell you about Anderson, I tell you about Hunter, I tell you about Settle, and the defensive tackles, I tell you all this. This defensive line, D'Amico Ryans previously has called it the engine to the defense. Well, they are going to be the reason the Texans win some big games down the stretch, and they are the reason I believe that on any matchup the Texans could face in the playoffs, they've got an opportunity to beat that team. Yes, including Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, including Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. This defensive line, the way they are playing right now and the potential that they have to get even better and finish stronger by the end of the season, I believe they give the Texans a puncher's chance in every matchup that they would face, and certainly in these final 6 games that they have down the stretch, starting with the unfortunate Tennessee Titans situation this weekend. Not a good offensive line coming to town. Perfect time to come back for Will Anderson, get back on track on that impressive season that he was building before that ankle injury knocked him out for a couple of games. What say you? You excited about the Will Anderson return? You believe that he's going to continue on the big tear that he was on before the injury? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to visit our friends at Prize Picks, the best, easiest way to play daily fantasy. Use the code Stoots when you play your first 5. You get $50 thanks to my friends at Prize Picks. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.